Here are some finished examples we are about to trim in this video, showing sizes extra small through extra large being trimmed in our thrown pots. We're starting out with blackberry extra small, a size of grog that you probably won't even notice is in your clay while you're trimming. You can see here that the clay ribbons are coming off intact, there's no chatter, everything is super smooth, and shortly we will take a peek at this finished cylinder. The use of a soft rubber or silicone rib while trimming can smooth out any little bumps or lumps that you create from ripping small pieces of the grog out with your trimming tools. Post-firing, we can see the high contrast of this dark purple grog in a light porcelain cone 10 throwing body. The grog has nice high contrast under colored glazes, opaque whites, and clear. We're moving on to fruit punch size small. This grog, much like extra small, may not even be noticed while throwing or trimming in your clay body. As the sizes of grog get larger in your throwing clay, it becomes more important to trim wetter and wetter. Extra small and small grog are fairly forgiving for throwing, slip casting, slab building, but the larger sizes may rip out in chunks, which we will see later in this video. This fruit punch small, again, has high contrast against a light colored clay body and is evident through the glazes. Here we have Wizard Hat Medium. You can see some lines going around on the form. If your piece gets a little too dry, consider sponging the surface before you trim, which will help ensure that the grog does not hook on your trimming tool and fall out of place. With the Flecks and Specks Grog sizes medium, large, and extra large, if you find yourself wishing that the surface was consistent all the way from the foot to the rim of your piece, often trimming upright or trimming without lugs of clay on the bottom, allowing yourself to trim all the way to the rim, will give you a nice consistent surface. We can see a few pits from where some of this size medium grog has ripped out, but the larger we get in size, the more punchy those fun flecks and speckles are in your clay. As we get into trimming size large, here we have our color parakeet size large. It's more important than ever to trim on the softer side of leather hard so that those particles push back in rather than getting ripped out on your trimming tools. Much like medium in the last section of this video, we find that it helps to trim the whole form, giving it a uniform surface and a uniform texture. We can see some larger pits in the surface of the clay where the large particles of grog have hooked on the metal trimming tool and either popped out or pulled and skidded along the surface of the clay. Here we're using pineapple extra large, again in a cone 10 porcelain. Extra large is more important than ever to trim on the wet side of leather hard to ensure that we don't rip all of those particles off. If you've made it to the point where you are trimming a piece that has extra large Flecks and Specks Grog in it, you have already found out that it's much like throwing with small rocks or pebbles in your clay, and trimming those small rocks is going to treat you about the same as you would expect. As we zoom in, you can see there are again some larger pits from where the XL grog has popped out, but where it stays, we have very lovely large chunks of color. As a recap, here we have blackberry extra small, fruit punch small, wizard hat medium, parakeet large, and pineapple size XL. Post trimming, I like to let the pots dry slightly and hit them with some light sponge pressure, which will remove whatever color clay you're working with's powder from the surface. Any smearing from trimming will be removed by the light sponge pressure, showing all of the grog in its full brightness.